And today I'm doing a bit of a revised video of one that I did on YouTube a while ago, which I have learnt a lot from since doing it. So last weekend I went to a retreat, a 4-day scrapbooking retreat, about 5 hours away from me. So I packed a lot of stuff, but since filming that first video on YouTube, I'll put the link down below, I've revised it and I've got a better way of packing and making sure that I have enough but not too much. So I taught 2 classes while I was at the retreat, and I knew that I would have a bit of time teaching, but I would also have days and days of actually creating. So if you haven't been to a retreat before, the way I think I've been to 5 now, yeah, 5. And what we do here in Oz, it might be different in the States, but we all stay, the accommodation is included in the retreat usually, and so you stay there and you wake up when you want to, you go to the crafting hall when you want to, you craft all day, there's lunch, dinner, breakfast provided, and there's games, there's a challenge usually every day, there's usually like lucky door prizes or giveaways or a raffle or some sort of thing like that. So I had a great time. I met lots and lots of peeps. I met some patrons, which is really exciting. So I'll show you what I took. Now, this is my new favourite thing. I got it for a steal. Spotlight had a coupon that came out for, I think it was 20% off, I think. So this was already, it was 130. It had $30 off. And then I managed to get it somehow down to 70, which for a full-sized, pretty crop bag is pretty good. So all I took was this big bag, this bag with my albums, because there was no way my albums were ever going to fit in this. And then this bag, which I have to talk about because I need to come up with a better solution for this. And I know the solution, I've just got to do it. So I'll show you these first up and then we'll go in closer and you can have a look what's hiding in here. So first up, I have my giant bag. Now this is actually one of my Inkie Quill bags. It's the Weekender, which is available on inkiequill.com. And it's a great size, I find, for albums. It fits 12 by 12s really nice. You could fit 2 12 by 12s. You could even, well, I'd probably say 2 12 by 12s and a couple of like paper pads or something. And in here, I took one of my freaking wedding albums. This is the final one to do. It's number 2 out of 6 and I'm getting there slowly. I will do a flip through here on Patreon once it's finished, but it's a mix of project life and layouts and it just needs to be done. So what I did before I went is I went through and put post-it notes on the pages that still needed to be done, just to make it a bit easier to find where I was up to. I think I've got 10. I've got 10 to go, and some of those are pocket pages, which take probably about 10-15 minutes to do. So I've got to get on it. I might do that maybe in my next scrap stream. I might try and finish this one off. So I took that. I also took my current Project Life album because I knew that I would get sick of 12 by 12s and the wedding photos because, let's face it, this part of the album is the ceremony. So it's all the bridesmaids walking down and it's the actual ceremony. And there's a lot of repetition there with colours, with photos, with people. So I knew I wanted to change it up a bit. My current Project Life album, I think I only had maybe three layouts to go. In hindsight, I could have just taken the 3 pages out that I needed to do, but I knew that I'd be meeting some inklets there and they'd want to flip through my album, so I brought the whole album. But in future, I would probably just take the pages that I needed out of the album that didn't have much in it. And then the other thing in here is my favourite little desk caddy. And I got this off eBay. I think it was $3, so I'll bring you in now closer so you can see what's in here. So I got this off eBay, and I think it was actually a handbag tote. So you're meant to be able to put everything from your handbag in here and just pull it out and switch handbags when you want to. But I thought it'd be great for scrapbooking. It honestly was about $3. If you search for maybe handbag organizer on eBay, you might be able to find it. And I use this to put all of my go-to items. So in here it's got some little pockets and all bits and pieces. I don't use all the pockets, but just whatever works. I just shove things in where they go. In here I stuck the itinerary that we got, as well as the challenges for the retreat, just so that I had them handy. I've got some staples for my tiny attacher slipped in here. I've got a bone folder because I was teaching a junk journal class and we had to squash a lot of papers, so I brought that with me. I've got my Heidi Shine, of course, my gold Heidi Shine, some wet glue and a white pen. In this first little section here, I picked just a couple of packets of enamel dots. I actually got two of the same, which I didn't really need, but I got a blue, a red, a pink, a different blue, a gold, and then a bit of a tropical coloured one, and that's all I needed. I try to make it so that it's easy to pack away as well. I'll do the middle last. On the other side, I've got my pack of my favourite Staedtler pens and some twine and just a handy dandy glue stick. I've got my tiny tatcher and just a bit of packaging if I want to do some mixed media packaging technique. And then in the middle here, all I have is this. I brought this to kind of challenge myself. It's just a little bag. I've got 3 of my favourite roller date stamps and an ink pad, and I ended up only using 1 of them, but I'm glad I brought it. It was kind of just a bit of a challenge item to see if I could actually remember to use them. I've got some rolls of tape here as well, because that's one thing I don't mind taking lots of, because there's nothing worse than being out of tape. And then you've all seen these little containers that I used in my process videos, and I just picked 2 of them and chucked them in a plastic bag. So this one's got my DIY embellishments that we made last month, and the one with all the wood veneers. I put this tiny bag of little resin hearts and some of my glitter hearts in a plastic bag. So straight away I just take that out and put it on my desk, and I'm good to go. So that's my little desk caddy, which is really, really useful. I highly recommend, if you're going to a retreat and haven't been before, to have something like this, even if a plastic container, a pencil case, something that has all of your most used tools in it, because it makes it a lot easier to organize. Now let's have a look at the big one. All right, here she is. So there's lots of pockets. Now, one thing that I did find is this front pocket, you can't really put much in it because it starts to bow the inside, and it means that you can't do up the big zipper very well. So if you have one that's this design, don't pack the front pocket too much. In the side pocket here, I just put my trimmer and I just shoved it in. Doesn't zip up all the way, but it's nice and secure in there. And then I'll show you what's the best way to do this. Maybe like this. In the front here, it unzips. There we go. And I've got in here, I've got some craft foam. So I just put a whole, it's got 4 pieces in there. I didn't know how much I'd use. We used it in the class as well, so I put some in there just in case I needed some extra. So I've got my craft foam. There's some pockets here, so I just slipped in, hope you can see this all right. I just slipped in a whole bunch of, it's very bright, there we go, a whole bunch of tiny word stickers and some of my bigger sticker sheets. I just picked 4 of my favorites because I do use them pretty much on everything. And by slipping them in that pocket, it kind of kept them flat and straight, which was handy. I also just popped in 2 paper pads. So I've got the Chasing Dreams and Heart Day by Crepe Paper. And that was it for the front. So the front section did actually stay pretty straight, which was good. And now into the top bit. Alright, now we're on to the big one. So here, oh, there we go. There we go. And it's got these clips on the side so you can undo it and let it all flop out, but I'll keep them there for now. Everything, there's no real rhyme or reason to how well, there is a little bit, but I stacked the big things for the flat things at the back, and then the big things, and then kind of just squeezed in whatever I could around it. So to make things easier for when I come home, I packed a lot of things in their containers, which makes it so much easier to unpack. Yeah, a lot easier. So I'm going to take out everything that's in here and lie it out on the floor, and then go through what is actually in here. Ta-da! Alrighty, so there's a few things that I'm not taking out. At the back, I grabbed a new paper pad that I really liked, so I just bought one paper pad because I was doing those 12 by 12 layouts and I thought I might need it. I forgot cardstock. I do it every freaking time. That's how I became friends with some of my best friends at the retreat that I bonded over lost cardstock with. So I brought a pack, but usually it would just be at the back as well. Here on the side, I filled up one of these little pockets here with extra tape for my ATG, and I bought along 6 packets of thickers. That is all. So I grabbed my 2 favourite gold ones because they're my absolute go-tos, and then I thought I'd bring, whoops, 3 black ones, something a bit cursive fancy, something very blocky, something very skinny, and then a random pink one, just for a bit of something different. So I really recommend, I know we love our thickers, our scrapbooking girls, but try and just limit yourself to a few packets if you can, something generic, not something too out there and fancy. So that's that. Then, to make life easier to unpack, I just brought my whole book of stencils, and I'm glad I did because I got a good use out of them. So that just slides in, even though it's a lot to carry. I know that my stencils won't get squashed if I was to take them out and put them in something else, so that's a must for me. I also grabbed this container which keeps all of my, if you've watched my room tour, you'll know this. It just keeps my like tissue paper and any leftovers of craft foam, any paper bags, anything textury goes in there. So that's that one. So that's really easy just to put away straight back into my stash. Then I brought this, which I didn't actually end up using, but I'm glad I had it just in case. This is one of the Dilutions pouches, and it perfectly fits a magazine. So instead of bringing lots of different separate images, I just brought a whole magazine in case I felt like just cutting out pictures or using it for an art journal page. I also brought my 2 little sets of watercolor and just a couple of paintbrushes and a spatula, so they're easy to put away back into my stash. Now I'm putting this on the floor, and I guarantee the bunnies will hear the flapping flop of paper on the floor and come running very soon. So then let's see, what next? This little pouch these are the 2 size pouches on inkiequill.com if you need a little pouch to put your stuff in. I love this one. It says, "What's up, Scrappy Peeps?" And in it I just took all of my tiny word stickers because I use them so much, and I just put them in there. It's nice and flat, and then when I'm unpacking, all I have to do is grab everything out of there, put it back on my Rascog where it belongs. This one is a bit more complicated. I might leave that last until I've got some more space. This is my little pouch of doilies. If I had more time, I probably just would have grabbed a few of them out and put them into this, but I was running a little bit late on the day of packing, so I just grabbed the whole thing, and honestly it's pretty skinny, doesn't take up too much space. This was my favorite little bag. It's got a whole bunch of embellishments, so it's got puffy stickers, it's got chipboard. I pretty much just went through my Rascog, my new embellishment Rascog, which I am going to give you a tour of very soon, and just grabbed a whole bunch of embellishments. Now this will be very easy to put away because it's divided. The first half goes on the first shelf and the back half goes on the back shelf, so I know that I can put it away easily. And then this one was a makeup bag. I think my nan got me when I was about 14, and I used this. Last time I took my entire collection of sprays and I only used a few of them, so I just grabbed my favorite go-to ones and put them in this side, and then on this side I grabbed some paint pens, my white pens, a chalk texter, a couple of Tombos, just a few of my favorite pens, so they're easy to put away. And then I also grabbed about 5 of my favorite background stamps in case I wanted to do some art journaling, and just sat them in the middle. So that was a really handy container. So have a look at what you've already got at home. You might be able to repurpose something for something else. Then I decided to take just my Dilutions paints, which are these ones, because I wanted to do some art journaling, and I did end up doing some art journaling and using this on some scrapbook pages too, but I didn't want to take a whole different heap of paints, and this has every color that I need, so I just grabbed the bag of it. Then this one, now this one was an issue when I was packing, but I didn't have the time to put them in smaller containers. So what I'll do in the future is just pack a little, like a little salad dressing type container and put this stuff in it. But that's for next time. That's for future Adele. So you always learn something every time you pack. This is my modelling paste and my matte gel medium and my water sprayer. I'd still take the big sprayer because it saves me getting up and filling up the little one all the time, but I would definitely put some of this into smaller containers and label it just to make life a bit easier. I've got my ATG, which I need to redo. And then I grabbed just a handful of Project Life cards. I don't know what they are, who knows, but I just grabbed them and popped them in. I brought along my traveler's notebook because the thing that gets me with retreats is I always feel like doing the one thing I don't bring. So I like to bring a very small assortment of everything to make it easier on my brain. So I bought some 12x12 scrapbooking, some Project Life, one traveler's notebook that I could do, and then this was the art journal that I bought. So this is my use it up journal, and I'm getting through it slowly, ever so slowly, but I just brought that to do if I felt like doing some art journaling, and I did end up doing 2 pages in here. And then I also brought this one along, which is my new use it up journal, so that if I used extra paint, which I did, where was it? Here, I had extra paint, so I just plopped my book in it, and that gives me a background for next time. Whereas this one, all the backgrounds are filled, I just need some more details on them. So that was easy done. And then the final thing that I brought was this pouch, and this is my traveler's notebook pouch, and in it I have a couple of smaller pouches. So quick rundown, I've got a plastic sleeve full of photos that I might want to use. I've got this little book from the Planner Society, a kit that I got ages ago that's just got some stickers in it. This pouch has cut out magazine images. This pouch has small embellishments, so just like little bits and bobs. And then the rest of the pouch has stickers. So this is usually what I grab. This morning I actually did some journaling on the couch, and I just grabbed this, my traveler's notebook, some pens, glue, scissors, and I'm good to go. So that's, oh, and there's one other bag, the other one I wanted to talk about. This bag, a really sweet subscriber sent me this one, and I just love it. Today I will be happier than a bird with a French fry. This is like the modelling paste and the matte gel medium. I need to get some small bottles for my gessos because I ended up taking the big bottles, which was a pain, it was a big pain. But next time I go to the art shop, I think I'm going to just buy the small bottles, use them up, and then refill them when I need to. So that is it. That's how I pack for a crop. Let's put it back on my face for a minute. So I hope that gives you some ideas if you've never gone to a crop or you don't know how to pack. And even if you're just going to like a friend's house for a weekend or away, or I just thought it might be a bit handy to know. Archie's just woken up on the baby monitor, so Aaron's gone in to see how he's going. And I can just see Aaron's just rubbing his head very gently like this, so he goes back to sleep. Very cute. So hit me up in the comments. Oh, something else that I bought, must bring. I bought a cushion because those chairs aren't the most comfortable in halls at retreats, so a cushion for my bottom. I also bought a extension cord and a power board because I plugged in my phone and my heat gun. That was the other thing that I took, my heat gun. I used it last night. That's why it's not in here anymore. So I took my, an extension cord, power board, heat gun, and then if you've got a lamp, they're really easy to bring as well, like an OT light. I need to invest in one of those. Luckily the retreat I was at was really well lit, so I didn't need one. But they're the extra things, and snacks. It's always nice to have like a pack of lollies or some chocolate or something to nibble on, some muesli bars, something so that you can peck at during the day. Paper towel and baby wipes. I also had those in a separate bag, just a plastic bag. And I think that's it. Let me know in the comments any of your packing stories, if you've ever forgotten something, or tips and tricks, or what you advice to other people that you think it would be helpful. And I'll see you all very, very soon. Bye!